Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Gridiron Giants is finally here. A brand new event in NFL 2K Playmakers. This is going to be your complete guide and review for this event. Now, while I do feel this event is very easy and pretty free to play, I think efficiency is going to play the biggest factor, and there is certainly a lot to talk about when it comes to this event, so we got to jump right in. Now, there's two parts to this game mode. The first one is the ladder, the thing that you climb through, go through the obstacles, you beat the bosses, you try to get to the final event card, which is Trent McDuffie, really strong Jade tier card. This involves energy. Energy is one of the biggest curious things that they implemented in this event, in particular 5-hour energy refreshes, and there are no ads. It costs about 400 tokens in order to refresh one single energy. And so being efficient with your energy is certainly very, very important. The other part of this game mode is going to be the milestone rewards. Now, the milestone rewards, you get these from playing the game mode. The latter is more of the AFK aspect of it, although playing the game mode certainly speeds that along. But the milestone is when you play it inside the AFK part of it. Now, there is point doublers in this, and these are pretty pricey as well. 400 a piece. And if you do plan on using point doublers, I would certainly only use them when you get to the boss. Every single obstacle, as well as every single boss, costs one full energy. So it's 5 hours, every single obstacle, every single boss. So to be the most efficient with point doublers, you're going to only want to use them at the boss. That way it gives you the most time to play the game and get as many milestone points as possible using those point doublers. We only have one boost, which is a card shuffle. We'll talk about that a little bit more in depth when we get into the game mode. Now, even though we're one day in already, hopefully you started at the highest possible position, highest possible ladder that you could get to. You could start all the way at the bottom, but you cannot do that because energies are every 5 hours. You just don't have enough energy to get through them all. So hopefully you started at the very top, which I believe is 2 tiers below whatever you are. We're in Amber, we started at Diamond. If you're in Jade, you probably would have started at Onyx, and so on. Now, once you start an obstacle or a boss, there is an AFK aspect, which is gonna take off health of that obstacle or that boss automatically. You don't have to play the game to get through the ladder. Unfortunately, that doesn't help you with the milestones. In order to compete with the milestone rewards and get the milestones done and compete on the leaderboards, you have to fill out these sets of cards. And every single time you fill out a set, you get points towards your milestones. I will say it's pretty disappointing. They made this seem like it was going to be a defensive event where you use your defensive cards, maybe the stats of your defensive players, and it is not like that at all. It's still an event where you only use your offensive guys. These players right here that do the AFK aspect of it, that is your defense, yes, but you're still only using your offensive players for the milestones and really only playing with your offensive card. Now, to get milestone rewards and points, you do have to fill out these sets at the top. There's 3 sets at all times, and they rotate every single time you complete them. You look at the top of the set, and that's going to tell you what you get as far as these points go towards your HP. This is going to give us 10% attack. So on top of this 6,000 damage that I'm doing every single second or 2 seconds, it's going to add 10% to whatever set I put in here. This is going to be 5%. This is going to be 5%. This is the timer in which that lasts. So once I fill out this set, this is going to be 2 minutes before these cards then go back into my deck that I can choose again. This is also 2 minutes. This one is 30 seconds. Now, the deck you're using looks like it is your starters as well as your reserves. There's 17 total cards that you have. You see, we have the 4 cards here. We have 13 in our hand. When you use cards or switch out cards, then they go into the discard pile until you run out of cards in your hand, and then they refresh. The milestone points are down here at the bottom left, and once this bar completely fills up, as you are completing each of these sets, you're going to get points, 1,500 points, 2,000 points, 2,500 points, etc. Once you complete each of these sets, you get milestone points. As this bar fills up completely to the top and you complete this milestone, all of your cards disappear and you have to claim it straight from this screen right here. You're just going to click on this little star. It's going to claim the milestone reward. You're going to get that milestone reward. Then your cards are going to go back into your hand, and then you can continue the obstacle or the boss. A couple strategies to play this event when you first start. You see that each of these has a position or any. I would recommend filling out the positions first and then worry about the any spots. Now, do you have to make this your absolute best possible cards? I, kind of don't think it really matters a whole lot. Now, if you get a 50% attack up here and a 2-minute timer, that's pretty much the best you can do. And you might want to try to optimize that particular one. But most of the time, I just take my cards and I fill out the positions first, and then I go with the any spots. So we're going to start that right now. We got wide receiver. We're going to go like that. We got a tackle. Now, as I pick up a card, you see the highlighted boxes up here on the sets. That's going to show you kind of quick reference where you can put the card. But like I said, I would put in the specific positions before you get into the any spot. So we're going to put in a tackle right there. We got a tight end. We have 2 tight ends, so I'm going to pick the better one, go there. We do need 1 running back. Now, we don't have a running back in our deck right now, so I'm going to just put in a quarterback in the any spot, and then I'm going to put in another one in the any spot, and then still looking for a running back. Now we got a running back, so I'm going to put it in that one and then fill out the rest. One thing to keep in mind when I'm doing this, personal tip, I guess, I would kind of balance out what these are down here at the bottom. Like if you have 3 offensive linemen and 1 wide receiver, then use an offensive lineman into the any spot rather than your wide receiver, because you don't want where it's all the same position here down at the bottom. It's going to make it really hard when you fill out specific positions. So we're going to go in with another wide receiver, but we have 3 wide receivers up here already. So I'm actually going to save my wide receiver. We have a quarterback. We have 1 tight end. I'm going to go with the offensive lineman. Now, these sort of things you can do hopefully quickly in your head. Here, all the same or different positions. So we're going to fill it out. Now, we have a 1-minute timer on this one. We have a 2-minute timer on this one and a 30-second timer on this one. And now we can't do anything until one of these timers expire. Now, while you're playing this, you'll notice that it does have a number down here for the cards that are in your hand. Those are the ones that as you're putting in cards into these slots, they come from the hand, they go into your deck. As they complete, they're going to go into discard pile. When you run out of cards in your hand, then it takes the discard pile and puts them back into your hand. And so it's just going to be a constant cycle of players. You're going to go through all of your cards. Another tip that I want to give when you're filling this out is that you can actually cycle cards an infinite number of times to try to find a specific card you're looking for. And it really helps when you're getting stuck. For example, let's say I'm really trying to find a running back to fill out this one on the left side. Now, I'm just going to assume that all 3 of these, or the 2 on the right, are completely filled out. Okay. So we need a running back. We don't have a running back down here at the bottom. If all of the 2 on the right are still filled out, there's timers on them instead of waiting. Well, this little spot on your right side was any. And so what we can do is we can take any card down here at the bottom and we can put it in the any spot. It will replace the card that is there, put it in discard, and then it will draw a new card from the hand. So we'll take this wide receiver, we'll put it in the tight end spot, and we're going to get a new card down there. It is another wide receiver. We're just going to cycle through it to try to get a running back. There's a tackle. We're going to go through it again, get another card. That's a quarterback. Go through it again. There's another quarterback. Go through it again. Boom. There is a running back. So you can cycle cards in the any spot or in any specific position. This right here was offensive lineman. We could have taken that card. We could have put it in that one. The cards moved from discard to the hand since we ran out of cards in our hand. And we could just keep cycling it through it that way, which kind of really helps if you get stuck. They do have a couple other things that you can do if you're completely stuck, which I've never been completely stuck yet. But you can pay 25 tokens to refresh this up here. And you can use your shuffle. I would use both of them at the last resort. Obviously, you know, if you don't have tokens, not a, you know, pay to win type of player or have extra free tokens, then all you have is your shuffles. I would use shuffles at the last absolute possible moment. And I've never come to that moment yet. You know, if you know how to play the slots and rotate the cards in and out, you can always find a card that's available, or that when the timer runs out, or just wait for the timer to run out. The timer will go into throw the cards in the discard pile, and then it'll refresh, and then you'll be able to have a new set that you can try to complete. Now, like I said, when you're filling these out, I would certainly recommend to try to keep an eye on the positions. Don't have too many of the same positions down here. If you start to run into that, then put those positions in any spot if there's not specific positions here. And so, you know, just like I said, you're going to try to fill out the positions specifically first, and then you're going to fill out the other stuff. We got an extra tight end. We're going to go there. We got a quarterback. We're going to go there. We got another any with 2 offensive linemen. We're going to go there. This refreshes in 3 seconds. These cards are going to go into the discard pile. We only have 1 card left in our hand. Once we end that, then it is going to refresh. We got a center right there, offensive lineman. We're going to put a wide receiver in there. The cards move from discard over here. We got a running back, so we're going to put that in there. That's a 30-second timer, and now we just have to wait. And this is the only way that you're going to complete the milestone rewards. So I certainly wouldn't necessarily recommend starting one of the obstacles or the boss unless you want to play the milestones. You can just let it AFK, and if you're in a decent tier, you can probably honestly get through everything without even playing the event, which I mean, I think that is pretty nice. I mean, I do like that in the sense that you can get through a lot of the ladder without having to do too much, but also don't like the fact that it's 5 hours, and people that really want to grind can't grind all the way because they're limited to the time. Now, as far as the milestone rewards, 51 million is absolutely insane. 99.9% of all people will never even touch this. You get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 points, somewhere around there, every single time you complete one of the sets. And to do 51 million would require like 20,000 sets to be done. Now, there will be somebody, I think, on the leaderboard that gets this done. Like the top player should probably get it done. But the 2 and 3 have the possibility. I think you need to be about 17 million. You need to be 1/3 of the way done by the time today ends. And it is just about at reset. So 2 and 3 might make it, but everybody from 4 on down, I don't think is going to touch it. Like 51 million is crazy. Way too much of an ask, at least on the milestones. Now, as far as my opinion on the event itself, I honestly don't think it's too bad. With some tweaks, I think it could be pretty decent. Obviously, the milestone rewards need to be toned way the F down. The energy recharges every 5 hours is a bit ridiculous, because I honestly kind of want to do some of the latter part below to get some of the older event cards, get extra duplicates and things like that. I'd want to be able to do those down there, but I can't just because of the energy situation. So it would be nice to get more energy. I like how the AFK aspect of it, but then I don't like the AFK aspect. Like I started this obstacle right here, and this is going to click down and it's going to take off, you know, some of the health. But if I'm not playing it, then it honestly doesn't do a whole lot for me for the leaderboard, and I don't have energy to start another one when I am ready to play. So you do have to be very conscious on when you start, when you're ready to play, and how much time you actually put in on each one of them. But the event itself is super easy. You don't really have to think about it. You don't have to focus on it or pay attention to it. You could just slide in the obstacles. It's very, very easy to play. And it's kind of relaxing, honestly. It's kind of relaxing. It's a game mode that I could play during stream, and especially if I'm on the boss level, one energy will last a long time. I think another thing I don't like about it is the rewards, in the sense that you could play one particular boss for hours and hours and hours and get 0 rewards until you finish it. And then once you finish it, you only get 12 draft picks. Like, wow, that's not very much. So I could sit here and grind this particular obstacle for like 3 hours and literally have 0 rewards by the time I get done, maybe get the milestone done, but have 0 rewards except for when I beat this wall, and then I'll get 12 draft picks. That is it. Now, like I said, of course, I'm disappointed with the defensive part of it. They really made this sound like it was going to be a defensive event, and it absolutely has nothing to do with your defense. I mean, they're pushing on the wall, sure, and those, ticks that go off on the AFK aspect of it, does that have to do with your defense? Probably, your total defensive stats and stuff. But other than that, this is, again, another offensive event where we only use offensive players, and so that's a little disappointing. But overall, I think it is a pretty solid event. I mean, it gives people the opportunity to grind the ladder that don't play very much, and kind of gives people the opportunity to grind the leaderboards at least a little bit while you're playing. You just got to be efficient about it. Be smart about the sets. Be smart about when you're playing it. Put in lots of effort, in a short period of time. That'll go a long way. But overall, I mean, I'm kind of happy about it. I just hope that they change some of the things in it to make it just a little better. But either way, hopefully this guide and review helped you out, and hit the thumbs up. Go follow the Twitch, subscribe to the YouTube, and I will see y'all in the next video or stream. Y'all take it easy. Hopefully everybody's having a good weekend. We're out. Peace.